enough.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't really talk about much, just the weather, the cup on the table. You say something, I'm not too slow, like I heard it twice before you said it. Your phone lights up, you don't check. I trace a crack in the wall instead. There's a joke hanging half in the air, nobody needs to finish it. Words fall short, then they stretch, comfortable gaps, no need to flex. Every pause feels kinda right, like we planned to waste the night. We're just talking, without a point, late in minutes, rolling joint. Nothing deep, nothing smart, just killing time, not breaking hearts. Say it once, say it twice, doesn't matter if it's nice. We don't need a reason why, we're just here letting time slide. You stir your drink like it's important. I watch the ice pretend to listen. We circle thoughts we've had before, never landing, never missing. You laughed and stopped mid-sound, like the joke they didn't want attention. Silence sits between us, calm, not awkward, just intentional. No big plans, no takeaway, just staying in the in-between space. If this moment fades tomorrow, I won't ask it to stay. We're just talking, without a point, letting minutes, rolling joint. Nothing deep, nothing smart, just killing time, not breaking hearts. Say it once, say it twice, doesn't matter if it's nice. We don't need a reason why, we're just here letting time slide. If this is all it is, I think I'm good with it. No headline, no scene, just a quiet loop repeat. We're just talking, without a point, same old words, no little noise. If tomorrow feels the same, I won't call it a waste. No rush, no sign, no cue, nothing we're supposed to do. We don't need a reason why, we're just here letting time stride. Just letting time slide. Same couch, same old beat. Black, don't rush my feet. Lights hum low, steady breeze. Whole room moving in half speed. Phone face down, no scroll. Let the silence play its role. Mama said it's still cool. Nothing heavy, nothing to prove. We ain't gotta make it loud. Let the gaps talk right now. If it drips, let it slide. No agenda in this ride. Talking about nothing, yeah. Let it swing, let it bend. No point, no direction. That's how nights end. Just a pocket and a phrase, couple words off beat. If he's gone by the sunrise, feel good just to be. Comfy cold, still sip, same loop in the speaker. It's Friday night, no scene. Just us killing minutes, half jokes, half choke. Loose talk, no rules, all the pauses hit right. More real than a punchline. Don't ask where this goes, already moving slow. If it's light, let it stay. If it's quiet, let it play. Talking about nothing, yeah. Let it swing, let it bend. No point, no direction. That's how nights end. Just a pocket and a phrase, couple words off beat. It was good just to be. Silence, talking back to me. No need to answer everything. Every space between the lines feels closer than the rhymes. Talking about nothing, volume real low. Just your voice in the mix. Just a pocket and a phrase, nothing to keep. If it's gone by tomorrow, that's enough for me. this time sliding right. If your face, that's fine. Where is it? That's mine. You showed up with nowhere to be. I just wanted to chair slides inside. Daylight drifting by. You start a story, lose the thread. Smile like you finished it instead. Yours turns gold in the sideways beam. Easy scene. Broken lines, soft and small. Best ones never stand up tall. We're not trying to solve it all, just nearby. Let it drift, let it play. Small talk, feeling the day. No deep layer underneath, just the swing. Under speech, if the point never appears. No regret, no cheers. Low groove, soft it roll. Me and you. Cups run dry, still we stay. Same loop track, knuckles tap on the table.
Es hora del show. Ven a mi ubicación. No te separes de la escuadra.
Battle Royale, el estilo de la batalla.
Human timing makes the shape. That's the color that we make. No polish.
Vamos a morir todos. Vamos a morir todos. ¡Calvo!
No cayó casi nadie.
¡Enemigo cerca de mí!
Me refiero a que
Dirígete ahí. ¡Ayuda!
no, se me lo que ven. Ven.
¡Vamos a morir todos!
Estoy mirando que se ponen.
¡Enemigo muy cerca!
Otro loco ya se hizo asesinato.
Buen trabajo.
Oye, ahí tenéis caleta de gente enferma. Oye, cuidado, pues.
Enemigo a la vista.
La actualización. Viste los monstruos que es tan bueno y al paso está. No sé ni
didn't even notice how long we've sat. You reading headlines, not really reading. Stirring ice that's already melting. Asked if you slept well.
No,
You
pero sí
kinda
está
shrugged.
bueno.
Said
Qué
something like
fácil.
enough is enough.
Yo.
We start a sentence,
Lo
then
mismo
let
que
it drop. Like neither of us needs to reach the dot. Let it be whatever this is. No need to label a moment like this. No plans.
Dirígete ahí.
Wherever it goes, have fun words that
Oye, cayeron. Oye, cayeron tres más.
Enemigo a la vista.
We talked about leaving.
¿Qué le pasó?
Same 8 bars looping on the spot. You showed me a picture, I smiled too late. Didn't even catch what you tried to say. Funny how nothing becomes the same. Let it be whatever.
Oye, está rota la nueva
Aquí hay
arma.
recursos.
No rush, just
Oye, está rota la nueva arma.
let it drip wherever it goes. Simple as breathing. Nobody knows right now. Enough, just stay in touch.
¡Ayuda!
Do we eat yet? Maybe
Vamos.
not. Probably should.
Obvio.
¡Qué fácil!
¿Quién dice?
reviviré. Yo me encargo.
Maldita sea, no. Me la presionó.
Let it be whatever it is. No need to carry the weight of it. No plans, no rush. Just stay in touch. Let it drip wherever it goes. Easy in silence. Comfortable right now is enough. Yeah, that's enough.
Battle Royale, el estilo de la batalla.
¡No te separes de la escuadra!
Dirígete ahí.
Coffee ring on the table, would move slow like I said it would. Start a line and let
Mantente
it
alerta.
clearing. Street light flick through the window shade. Half your words never
Enemigo a la
fully
vista.
made out. Just not like I understood. Close
Enemigo a la vista.
tiny pauses in between. Say more than the words we need. Nothing here to overthink. Let it drift.
¡Enemigo cerca de mí!
Play on low. Loose and easy, let it go.
Enemigo aquí.
No headline, no big show, just the tone. Let the small sounds fill the room.
Ayuda.
Silver air and lazy tone. We don't need a point of view, just a mood.
Dirígete ahí.
Buen trabajo.
Piano taps in corner time, soft mistakes that sound just right. Bass walks past, but never stays, no display. Snare
Enemigo
like shoes on
muy cerca.
hallway stones. Rhythm barely fully shown. Every phrase half overthrown, still okay. Time and leaning just
Buen trabajo.
like a thought that changed its mind. Nothing here we have to find. Let it ride. Let the sights loose and easy, let it go.
Buen trabajo.
No big show, just the tone. Let the small sounds fill the room. The silver air is we don't need a point of view, just the mood. No big turn, no reveal, just a passing kind of feel. If it fades, it's still
Enemigo a la vista.
Enemigo a la vista.
that's the deal. Inside talk play again, sing soft loop, different end, patch repeat. Let the load stand.
Enemigo muy cerca.
Just a pocket, just a flame.
Enemigo muy cerca.
Enemigo aquí. Enemigo a la vista.
Enemigo cerca de mí. Necesito refuerzos.
Ayuda. Enemigo aquí.
Yeah. It's stirring foam, you're not gonna drink. Talking halfway through a bout, you didn't think. Train was crowded, you forgot you stopped. Story cuts, then it just drops. I say yeah at the perfect place. You write my face like a saved up phrase. Nothing deep on the table yet, just harmless words we haven't said. Half-made lines, gentle drift. Conversations said just shift. We don't chase a point tonight, loose feels right. Let it ride in the sidebar lane. Background talk like cafe rain.
Enemigo a la vista.
A la zona segura.
Unfinished but
Buen trabajo.
complete in the pocket of the beat. Yeah. You show me shooting on the bar. Forget the brand, forget the thought. I like you best mid-sentence turn, where topics bend and never burn. Soft boom bap and window pane. Your knee keeps time on micro swing in your feet, tiny gaps. You never feel that part that lingers still. Nothing solved, nothing tied. We just slide. Let her ride in the sidebar lane. Don't talk like cafe rain. No big truth we gotta reach. Just no rhythm under speech.
¡No te separes de la escuadra!
Battle Royale, el estilo de la batalla.
Dirígete ahí. Enemigo muy cerca.
Little skips inside the beat, soft delay in how we speak. Meaning isn't what we need, just the drift. Have said things in the air tonight, loose ends floating left and right. No need trying to make it tight, let it ride. Side talk, sitting low in tone, background words not overshown. We don't push to make it vibe. Felt piano answers twice. Short reply, sounds precise. Baseline bends but stays polite. Small and light. Drying hits and brush no trails. Tiny rhythm detail scales. Conversation never nails any point. Time and lean.
Enemigo a la vista.
Swinging every sound. We don't try to redefine. Said things in the air tonight. Loose ends floating left and right. No need trying to make it tight, let it ride. Side talk, sitting.
Aquí hay recursos.
Background words not overshown. We don't push to make it known. We just vibe. No conclusion, no surprise. Just a groove that passes by. If it slips, we let it slide. No ties.
Enemigo a la vista. ¡Ayuda! ¡Ayuda!
We're talking. We're talking small things, nothing heavy. Steam from the cup, going thin already. Clock on the wall, but it's not that loud. Afternoon drifting through the sound. You say something about a show you saw. I say I might, but I'm not sure at all. Words just landing softly slide. No
Capturando el airdrop burbuja.
Little pauses, little laughs, sentences that don't need past. We're not going anywhere tonight, and that's just right. Keep it light, keep it low. Let the background rhythm flow. No big moment, no big line, just your voice and a little time. No big scene. Somewhere in between, we let the minutes move their own way. Loop the vibe, let it stay. Finger drawing lines in the air, like you almost put a thought right there. Half the story, then you switch. I like it better. Random pitch. Outside buses fade and pass. Room stay still like painted glass. Every sound sits close and near. Nothing loud enough to steer. Tiny beats between each word. Best conversations barely heard. We're not building anything to keep, just something soft and deep. Keep it low. Let the background rhythm flow. No big moment, no big line, just your voice and a little time. No big hook, no big scene, just somewhere in between. We let the minutes move their own way. Loop the vibe, let it stay. No climax, no surprise, just steady tone and easy highs. If the track goes round again, I wouldn't even change a thing. Say less, mean more, talk slow, no score. Close mic, soft tone, 2 cups, 1 zone. Keep it light, keep it low, let the background rhythm flow. Same groove, one more time, same small talk. Seems so friend, nothing huge, nothing loud, just a calm inside the crowd. If it feels
Enemigo a lo lejos.
let it roll, no end. Look the vibe, amen. You said detour, then checked your phone. Forgot the point halfway through the tone. I ordered cake, we didn't need great decision. You drew a face inside the phone. Said it looked like me at home. I said that's rude, you said
Enemigo
it's
muy
fair
cerca.
enough. We keep missing what we meant. Best 5 minutes, never spend. Nothing here is heaven sent. Still works, not important at all, we know. Side talk stealing the whole show. Zero meaning, nice and slow. Perfect vibe, half the words just come and go. Wrong details but good flow. If it's nonsense, let it roll. Don't correct. You told a story out of order, started and then crossed the border. Plot twist never showed up once, strong ending. Piano laughs into no jokes, baseline doing a little pose.
Capturando el airdrop burbuja.
Comic quotes, but dumb sound. Timing late and slightly wrong, that's why it keeps moving on. If it breaks, it's still a song. We're good, not important at all, we know. Side talk stealing the whole show. Zero meaning, nice and slow. Perfect vibe, half the words just come and go. Wrong details, but good flow. If it's nonsense, let it roll. No big truth, no lesson here, just caffeine and borrowed air. If it disappears, we cheer on. Still important, not at all. Still we're talking anyway. Loop the joke, replay the day. Same laugh, nothing fixed and nothing solved. Still somehow fully involved. Tying it off, unresolved. Good talk.
Capturando el airdrop burbuja. Enemigo cerca de mí.
Cup sweating onto a bowl. Didn't mean to leave it there. Fan keeps turning like it knows. Nobody's in a hurry.
Ayuda.
Nothing scheduled, nothing late. Just the day sitting in place. Let it stay that way. Nothing calling, nothing new. Just the sound of passing through. Let it stay that way. Someone laughs outside the frame. Car goes by, then disappears.
Dirígete ahí.
Time moves more like background noise. There's something you can really hear.
Enemigo a la
Table
vista.
clutter makes its own map. I don't fix it, let it be. Not every moment needs a shape. Some just happen quietly. Nothing scheduled, nothing planned. Just the light across your hand. Let it
Enemigo a lo lejos.
We didn't make a man. Just passed.
Enemigo a la vista. Enemigo a la vista.
Low light, top led by the glass, slave bus, shadow moving past. You start, then you lose the thread. Soft laugh, forget it, you said. Words don't either land on time, beats fall.
Equipo aniquilado.
Sound better sometimes, we let it ride. Side,
Enemigo muy cerca.
low, tie it and down, low.
Equipo aniquilado.
Just sound, just sound. Swing, leaning away, loose line, bending the phrase. No need to make it that way.
Enemigo a la vista.
One on the wood, dry glass, snapping good. Baseball, in space, slow pace. Midway through, new lane, old point of view. Half done, still feels true. Where through time sits back in the
Ayuda.
rush, not trying to lead. Light words fall in the beat. Stay loose. Side talk, loop it again. Air, different frame. Nothing to explain. Low room, end of the line. Fade down, leave it unsigned. Last word, miss the day sign. That's fine. Floating around. Side talk, floating around. Side floating around.
Lista de eliminaciones aceptada.
Floating around. sun coming through the window slow. Coffee doing what it's supposed to do. Nowhere. Feeling
No te separes de la escuadra.
Battle Royale, el estilo de la batalla.
Dirígete ahí. Dirígete a mi ubicación. Enemigo muy cerca. Ayuda.
Yo, neon dripping from tall glass towers, long shadows crossing silent avenues. Warm air rolling between the rows of buildings, taxi sliding slowly past red signals. The night spreads wide across the skyline like dark velvet, every window glowing faint as scattered gold. Footsteps echo soft on the corner pavement, distant laughter floating above the street. Somewhere a subway hums beneath the city veins, low metal rhythm under restless stone. A breeze carries faint music through an open doorway, mixing with the murmur of late night talk. Headlights stretched thin, silver rivers on the asphalt, running along the curves of empty roads. The whole city feels like a quiet breathing body, alive beneath the calm of midnight hours. Thoughts drift freely under these glowing towers, nothing urgent, pulling the heart away. Just a steady rhythm of lights and movement, and the quiet comfort of wander through the dark.
Estemos juntos.
glow in the skyline, glow in the blue night, slow through the neon.
Ayuda.
Glow, glow, glow bright, glow in the skyline, glow till dawn light, move through the silence, glow, glow,
Ven a mi ubicación. Vamos.
Street corners shimmer under rows of lamps, storefront signs humming in faded colors. Reflections ripple across rain-washed sidewalks like moving stars scattered on stone. A bus rolls slow through the quiet district, windows dim behind the passing glass. The driver watching empty intersections, change color red to green in silent sequence. Somewhere a rooftop holds two figures speaking low, their voices carry gently by the wind. A stray cat crosses the narrow alley between buildings, vanishing into deep shadow. Every light feels like a small story burning quietly. Every passing step leaves a moment behind. The night turns ordinary streets into something wider, something calm and strangely alive. And beneath the glow of the endless windows, the mind begins to wander slowly.
glow in the skyline, glow in the blue night, slow through the neon, glow, glow, glow bright, glow in the skyline, glow till dawn light, move through the silence, glow, glow, glow bright.
Yeah, far above the avenues, the sky opens dark and endless. A few faint stars hiding behind the glow. The city breathes beneath the electric horizon. Towers rising like quiet mountains of glass. Traffic murmurs distant beyond the sleeping blocks. The sound fading like waves along the shore. Every building holds quiet lives behind its windows. Stories drifting through the warm night.
Unisable Track 884. Best Viewers Streambo Olive, Remove the Space, @RWMVPPD4.
Morning waits somewhere beyond the dark towers. Pale gray resting behind the eastern streets. The first quiet hint of dawn touches the skyline gently. Soft light replacing the neon
Ven a mi
glow.
ubicación.
Yet the calm of the night remains inside the chest, like a memory carried through
Capturando
daylight
el airdrop,
hours. And even
burbuja.
as the city returns, crowded rhythm, those glowing streets stay somewhere in the mind.
Glow in the skyline, glow in the blue night, slow through the neon, glow, glow, glow bright, glow in the skyline, glow
White hush resting on the rail outside the window. Dim glass holding the blur of a sleeping street. Rooftops wearing a pale and weightless silence. Every chimney breathing soft and incomplete. The room is warm with a logo lamp beside me. Old floorboards keeping secrets in their grain. The kettle size once in the far end of the kitchen. Then the stillness gathers up again. The air feels slow like time forgot its hurry. Every second falling light is dust. Somewhere far away, a car moves through the midnight and fades as if the dark refused to fuss. I watch the world grow softer at the edges, every hard line turning mild and deep. All the noise from earlier hours dissolving, folding itself into a quieter sleep. There is a kind of mercy.
No hay objetivos a la vista.
Kind of peace in the way the world goes small. No sharp demand, no voice that needs an answer. Only the breath between the walls, and in that breath I hear the heart more clearly. Low and warm beneath the quiet blue. Not racing now, not trying to run anything. Only keeping time with something true. The window gathers silver from the street lamps. The curtain sways with one thin thread of air. And all at once,
Se desbloqueó el arsenal.
Absence, more like a hand laid gently there. I let my thoughts move slowly through the silence, like paper lanterns crossing still black water. Each one carrying a little heat inside it. Each one drifting farther, softer, calmer. No grand goodbye, no bright ecstatic ending. Only this hush with its tender kind of glow. Only this late hour widening around me, teaching the chest a slower way to know.
Stay in the pale blue. Stay till the night moves through. Soft in the hush, close in the view. Stay, stay, stay like a dream made true. Stay in the pale blue. Stay where the dim lights bloom. Warm in the dark, deep in the room. Stay, stay, stay through the midnight moon.
Thin light gathers on the
No hay
silhouette, quiet
objetivos a la
powder.
vista.
Kinda makes the whole street seem unreal. Bare branches drawn in charcoal on the backdrop. Every line softer than it used to feel. The houses down the block were muted halos. Porch lamps glowing through a veil of white. A distant train cuts one silver note through silence and leaves it hanging in the night. My hands rest still around a cooler cup.
Capturando electro
Steam
burbuja.
rising like a thought I cannot name. Some things are better held without explaining. Some things lose truth inside a frame. There was a time I chased each feeling harder, dragged every ache into the blaze of words. Now I know the deepest things arrive in quiet, not as thunder, more like wings of bird. More like the hush before a page gets turned. More like the warmth left in a woolen sleeve. More like a room that keeps a pulse inside it. Long after footsteps choose to leave, I think about the lies behind these curtains. Every low lamp burning for its own unseen reason. Every chest keeping its own small weather. Every soul moving through its private season.
Maybe that is why the
No
hour
hay
feels
objetivos a la vista.
Not because it offers answers from above,
but because it shows how much can stay unspoken and still be full of love.
the street below looks wrapped in tender distance. Even the shadows seem careful where they fall. And for a moment, the world feels made of listening, as if the night could hear it all.
The sharpness in me loosens without warning. The old unrest grows thin around the seams, and what remains is something plain and steady. A small one current underneath the dream. A kind of trust that asks for nothing louder. No miracle, no sign in flashing gold. Only the grace of letting silence hold me. Only the courage to go still instead of cold. Stay in the pale blue. Stay till the night moves through. Soft in the hush, close in the view. Stay.
Dale con los vestidos de choque.
Where the dim lights bloom, warm in the dark, deep in the room. Stay, stay, stay through the midnight moon.
Maybe peace is not a door flung open. Maybe it is the narrowing of sound. The way the world turns down is
Habilidad en enfriamiento.
and leave one living pulse around. Maybe healing is not loud or shiny. Maybe it comes best in a quieter grace, in the softened outline of familiar objects, in the calm that settles on a place. I have
Look for it in crowded rooms before now. Voices rising in the rush of day. In every heart, bright promise of becoming. And watch it turn and slip away.
But here it moves inside the slowest details. In the glass gone cool beneath my hand. In the soft weight of the blanket.
Ven a mi ubicación.
In the dim lamp making gold of the stand. In the far off murmur of the sleeping city.
In the pause after the radio. radiator sighs, and the almost soundless drift beyond the window, and the patience of the midnight skies. And I think the heart was built to learn from small things, from muted hours, from low and constant light, from all the ways the world goes kind and shadow, from all the
Enemigo a la
tenderness
vista.
inside the night.
Dale con los sentidos de choque.
Yeah, warm light sliding across the floorboard slowly. Lingo resting on the edge of the bed. Sparrows tracing circles over quiet rooftops. New air moving where the coat on spread. The room is plain, but the field's full of breathing. A cup on the desk, the coat on the chair.
Enemigo
Dust in
cerca
the
de mí.
sun looks bright as tiny lanterns, turning all the silence into air. I used to hold my chest like a locked drawer. Keep every close under layers and wire. Speaking in low voice, move like a shadow. Hide every spark that hinted at fire. But something changed in the hush of these mornings. Not with a crash, not with a shout. More like a window giving way to daylight. More like a hell breath moving out. All the old brace slowly lost its power. All the hard
Dale con los sentidos de choque.
And in the stillness I found a small courage. Quiet and clear and fully mine. No crowd sorry, no bells rang for it. No bright parade
Enemigo a
came
la
down
vista.
my street. Only the world growing warmer around me. And my own pulse finding a steadier beat. Rising me, slow and sweet like a melody. Light in my chest, bright in my veins. Rising me, wash through the rain. Rising me, soft and wild like a memory. Oh, to my heart, stay and see. Rising
Enemigo a la vista.
Thin clouds drifting over the rooftops higher. Clean blue, open and wide over town. Laundry moves with the wind on the balconies. All of this, everything settling down. After rolls out from the back open window. Somebody hums white water the plants. Life keeps speaking in small, easy languages.
Enemigo a la vista.
Grace with second chances. There is a kind of
Dale con
strength
los
that
sentidos
never
de choque.
announces. Never arrives with the glittering sound. It lives in the hand, reaching up toward daylight. It lives in the foot, touching solid ground. It lives in the way you keep going after the worst night. Still carrying warmth no one can see. Still finding room for a softer tomorrow. Still letting
Enemigo a la vista.
you free. I used to think change had to look like thunder. Bright and sudden.
Me están cazando.
Now I know it can move.
Coloqué una plataforma de lanzamiento.
And all the small things started turning holy. Steam from a log, sun on the wall. The first green edge in the city planter.
Dirígete ahí.
For a name or a call. Every detail said the same low promise. Every hour held one tender theme. And deep inside the ribs of the silence, I felt an rising me, slow and sweet like a melody. Light in my chest, bright in my veins. Rising me, wash through the rain. Rising me, soft and wide like a memory. Hold to my heart, stay and see. Rising me,
Ayuda.
stayed in the body. Long after the sky had turned mild and clear. Days when the mirror gazed back only distance. Nights when the dark sat too close to hear. There were rooms where I learned how to shrink myself. I made myself small to survive. But even then, under all of the silence, something refused to stop being alive. A fate low thread under the noise and worry. A hush with heat in the center of it. A little gold line under the door frame. Proof that the soul is not fully quit. And I think of all the versions behind me. Each one carrying what they could not name. Each one walking through weather with shaking hands. Each one protecting a hidden flame. I hold them thunder.
Es hora del show.
Not cold dismissal, not clean goodbye. I owe them sunlight on quiet mornings and open windows and a wider sky. Because every soft part I buried in caution. Still
Battle Royale, el estilo de la batalla.
the bloodstream, still found a way through the doubt and fear. And now when the wind turns warm in the evening and the glass oath pink from the end of the day, I feel all the locked up rooms inside me loosening, letting the dimness give way. Not into perfection, not into some bright story polished for strangers to praise or repeat, but into something honest, living and open, something with roots and a
Ven a mi ubicación.
Maybe the truest change comes quiet. Maybe it enters through plain little doors, through the smell of tea and the warmth of clean sheets, through bare feet crossing familiar floors. Maybe it
Ven a mi
starts when the
ubicación.
body stops fighting, every emotion that asks to be heard, when the throat stops turning every feeling into smoke and finally give shape to a word. Maybe it grows in
Buen
the
trabajo.
pause after sorrow, in the air after tears have thinned, in the calm when you stop demanding answers and let a better rhythm begin. I have felt it in trains passing under midnight, in park grass bright from an early spring rain, and a friend laughing hard at the kitchen table, and music drifting up through the pain.
Ven a mi ubicación.
Soft ember spreads across the edge of the rooftops. Slow evening settling on quiet streets. Warm colors sliding through open curtains. Dust floating gentle and fading beams. The sky breathes wide above silent buildings. Clouds drifting thin in the cooling air. Distant footsteps
Ven a
echo
mi
along the
ubicación.
pavement, fading slowly into the lengthening shade. Somewhere a window opens to the sound of wind, carrying faint voices across the quiet block. Nothing urgent moves inside this moment. Nothing asks the heart to hurry forward. The day loosens its hold on the city slowly. Colors turning softer with every passing minute. Light rests slow against the horizon line, like a memory that refuses to vanish. Every second feels stretched and calm, as if the world paused to listen to its own breathing. The warmth of the afternoon lingers on the walls, yet the evening pulls gently toward the quiet night. And inside the calm, the chest grows lighter, like the fading glow leaves room for softer thoughts.
Stay in the last light. Stay in the gold sky.
Enemigo a la vista.
With the evening. Stay by.
Yes.
Stay in the last light.
Stay till stars rise.
Stay till stars rise.
Stay till stars rise.
Soft in the twilight.
Stay till twilight.
Viva.
The streets grow deeper in color as shadows lengthen. Windows shining faint across the quiet road. Distant traffic hums like a fading echo. Somewhere beyond the corner of sight, the air turns cooler as the sun slips lower. Soft wind brushing through branches overhead. Leaves whisper low along the sidewalks. The quiet movement filling the pause. The world moves gently towards stillness now. Each sound becoming softer and more distant. The sky blends orange into deep violet. Colors dissolving into early night. Somewhere a radio plays behind a half-closed door. The smell of
Enemigo a la vista.
through the street. Every small moment carries a fragile beauty, the kind that only evening seems to hold. And even as darkness grows along the rooftops, the calm glow of the day remains inside the chest.
Stay in the last light.
Stay in the last.
Stay till stars rise.
Stay till stars rise.
Soft in the twilight.
Stay till twilight.
Stay.
Yeah. Night begins gathering softly above the city. One star appearing in the deep blue sky. The quiet grows deep along the empty streets. As windows glow
Enemigo a la
behind
vista.
thin curtains, footsteps fade into the hush of the block, and the last colors of sunset dissolve completely. The warmth of that fading glow still lingers somewhere in the chest, like a quiet reminder that every ending carries a trace of light. And every night begins with the gentle pause.
Stay in the last light.
Enemigo cerca de mí. Necesito refuerzos.
Soft in the twilight. Stay
Stay in the last light.
Stay in the last light.
Stay till stars rise.
Stay till stars rise.
Soft in the twilight.
Ayuda.
Soft in the twilight.
Stay.
The sky darkens slowly into deep midnight blue. City lights reflecting across quiet pavements. Distant conversations drift through the night air. Soft echoes moving between buildings. Yet inside the silence, the warmth of the fading evening still remains. A quiet glow carried beneath every breath. And even as the stars spread across the sky above the rooftops, that last soft light continues somewhere within, steady and calm beyond the passing day. Steady and calm beyond the passing day.
Stay in the last light. Stay till stars rise. Soft in the twilight.
in a soft glow. Stay where night flows. Slow through the heartbeat. Yeah, stay close. Stay close, stay close, stay close. Low beam sliding over wet pavement. Lay there cool through the narrow gap in the glass. The whole town turning soft at the edge. Storefront stemming, traffic lights changing with nobody there to ask. Wires overhead hum like a half-lost answer. Signs blink red, then golden blue. The road opens wide like a held-out hand, and every mile feels loose and new. No fixed point pulling at the chest tonight. No heavy clock pressing against the ribs. Only the roll of the wheels and the hush between songs. Only the dark and the way it gives. I watch the buildings thin into longer shadows. Watch the river catch one strip of white. Watch the city fall back into scattered sparks. Small as breath against the night. Somewhere between the overpass and the last gas station. All the noise I carry starts to fade. Every sharp thought turns smooth into motion. Every hard feeling slips into shade. There's peace in a row with no way. In a sky with no infinite views. The kind of vow that asks for nothing. The heart go quiet and pass right through. The dashboard glows with the low green patience. The mirror keeps a few lights far behind. And I let my thoughts move slow as smoke rings. Rise in the mirror, on the side. Not every night needs a reason. Not every turn needs a name. Some hours exist like water under moonlight. Shifting the silver and never the same. So I lean into the long black ribbon ahead of me. Let the silence settle where the day used to be. The rhythm of distance take over my breathing. Let the moving dark teach me how to be free. Hold me in the low lights, spin me in the blue. Slow ride, all I need is you. Round and around where the soft lights move. Slow ride, steady. Hold me
Enemigo a la
in the low
vista.
lights, stay till the dawn. Slow ride, keep
¡Me están cazando!
near in the dark where the lost hearts bloom. Slow ride, carry me through. Neon ripples on the hood like liquid color rain from an early hour. Still clings to the lane. The radio finds an old warm memory. Past the guardrail in silence, back in the lane goes by with one small blinking heartbeat. Gone too quick and not too soon. Somewhere a diner glows off the highway. Coffee steam in the window, a hand on a cup. One more little island in the sleeping miles. One more place where the lights stay up. And I think of the lives behind all those windows. All the stories breathing under those roofs. All the small late moments nobody talks about. All the wild ways people survive the truth. The heart learns strange things on the news. Gotta loosen this quick without
Enemigo cerca de mí. Necesito refuerzos.
without trying to drive the car. How to keep going with those ghosts humming. How to move with the weight and not lose speed. How to find a soft kind of courage in motion. The kind that'll rise when there's nothing to need. The night does not ask me to solve it. It does not ask me to heal in a blaze. It only offers lanes disappearing forward in the mercy of passing days. I used to think freedom would come like thunder, loud and bright with a clean straight line. Now I know it can come through a half-shut window, through cold air, through rhythm
Ayuda.
of time. And the farther I go, the lighter I carry what follow me out from the city streets. All the old noise starts sounding smaller. All the hate grows quiet under the beat. There is something holy in simple movement and ties rolling steady under stars. In the world turning huge and wordless around you, while you keep going exactly as you are. Hold me in the low lights, spin me in the blue. Slow ride, slow ride. Hold me in the low lights, stay till the dawn. Slow ride, keep me rolling on. Near in the dark where the lost hearts bloom. Slow ride, carry me through. Maybe peace is not a place you arrive at. Maybe it lives in the stretch between one sign and the next. Maybe it hums in the lane markers flashing by in the rise and fall inside the chest. Maybe all this distance is less about leaving, more about letting the silence speak. Letting the mind unlearn its pain, letting the soul unclench its teeth. There are truths that only show up in motion, not in rooms where the walls remember too much. Not in bright crowded hours with the sharp little dramas, but out here,
Rumbo al punto de suministros.
out here where the dark turns spacious, where thought can breathe and then dissolve, where the sky hangs low like a promise with no demand in it, and nothing needs to be solved. I felt this same calm in other places, in late stations and bridges and rain on a roof, but tonight it runs deeper, steady as a pulse.
Drifting quiet through the air, the clock ticks slow with patient rhythm. Every second landing soft. Moves through this moment. Footsteps, the chair waits calmly by the window outside. The sky stretches wide and pale.
Habilidad de enfriamiento.
Carrying the scent of distant sunlight on familiar streets, nothing sharp remains, only warm outlines of time passing softly. In this calm space, the chest feels lighter, like silence itself carries quiet comfort.
Stay in the soft air, slow in the heartbeat. Stay there. Stay in the still light. Stay in the warm glow. Slow in the quiet. Stay slow.
The afternoon moves gently through open windows, long shadows stretching across the floor. A faint melody travels from a distant radio, somewhere down the street, blending softly with the calm air. Dust drips slowly in the golden beam near the wall. Tiny sparks floating through quiet space. Every object holds a small piece of memory, a photograph resting beside a stack of letters, worn edges, faded colors, moments frozen in silent frames. Footsteps pass outside and fade again, like when somewhere yet inside the air remains steady and warm. A place where time slows enough to notice breathing, when every pause becomes meaningful without effort. The quiet does not feel empty, it feels full of space.
Habilidad de enfriamiento.
Between louder hours.
Necesito paredes glue.
Softly across the rooftops, pale orange. Glowing one by one in distant windows. Small constellations across the quiet street. The breeze cools as the sun slips away, carrying faint sounds of quiet voices and distant laughter. The sky deepens into calm twilight colors. The day folding slowly into night. In these small hours, nothing needs explanation. The heart settles into the rhythm of breathing thoughts. Never rushing, never staying too long. The quiet becomes a kind of shelter, a soft place where the noise of the day dissolves, leaving only the steady calm of presence.
Stay in the still light. Stay in the soft air. Slow in the heartbeat. Stay there. Stay in the still light. Stay in the warm glow. Slow in the quiet. Stay slow.
Night finally settles over the silent street. Deep blue, stretching wide above the roofs. Stars begin to
Habilidad de enfriamiento.
the clouds, and the calm of the day lingers gently inside the chest. Even as the world outside begins its quiet night rhythm, that peaceful moment remains like a soft echo beneath.
Enemigo muy cerca.
In the heart, how simple stillness can feel, how powerful silence becomes when allowed to exist.
Stay in the still light. Stay in the soft air. Slow in the heartbeat. Stay there. Stay in the still light. Stay in the warm glow. Slow in the quiet. Stay slow. Stay in the calm night. Stay where soft winds flow. Slow in the heartbeat.
Les di PE a todos.
Stay slow.
Dirígete ahí.
Yeah. Soft gold on the dresser, low blue through the curtains. Dust turning slow in this land of afternoon. Floorboards remember the shape of footsteps. Air moves light through a half-open room. Times quiet outside the back window. Far off wheels fade on the
pressure and far from the strength. I set my hands on the edge of the cliff. Feel all the noise of the day growing dim. Every sharp thought starts losing its corners. Every tight breath starts letting me in. There is a chair by the wall with a sweater. There is a book face down by the bed. There is a calm in the hush of these objects, as if they know every word left unsaid.
Potencié la velocidad de todos. Aquí hay recursos.
Cold demand dressed up as a plan. Only the low little pulse of the hour. Only the slow little beat in my hands. The ceiling fan turns with a soft lazy rhythm. Tracing small circles above all the heat. Or somewhere around the roofs of the city. Clouds drag silver along.
Aquí hay recursos.
I let the room become larger around me. Larger than walls, larger than time. Larger than every hard thing I carry. Larger than every unfinished line. This is the kind of peace that arrives without thunder. Plain as a cup and a lamp and a door. Plain as the hush that settles at sundown. Plain as the light on the floor. And in this plainness, something open inside me. Not with a break but a tender release. A low warm current under the side of a small steady listening peace.
Stay where the soft goes. Stay where the wind blows. Close to my chest where the calm is. Stay where the silence sleeps. Stay when the long day bends. Stay where the low light ends. Soft in the blood like a sweet heartbeat. Stay where the silence sleeps.
Aquí hay recursos. Les di PE a todos. Necesito equipamiento.
Long. All of the little things start feeling holy. The chip blue cup, the old crooked shelf, the scarf on a hook by the narrow hallway, the simple relief of being myself. No one is asking for sparkle or thunder. No one is measuring worth by the sound. Nothing is breaking the calm I found. Outside the branches, moving to the weather. Each leaf shining dark with a cool wet shine. Inside the two kinds of light we have. Think of the rooms that never let me soft. All of those nights with their sharp, restless glow. All of the halls where the air felt borrowed. All of the doors I was eager to close. And then I look at the piece and the way it asks for no mask and no speed. The way it lets every tire part settle. The way it gives nothing more than I need. A room does not have to be grand to restore you. A pause does not have to be loud to be true. Some of the
Ayuda.
Spotlight, not for some miracle hard to believe. Only the grace of a warm little stillness. Only a hush I do not want to miss.
Stay where the soft light goes. Stay where the wind blows. Close to my chest where the calm runs deep. Stay where the silence sleeps. Stay when the long day bends. Stay where the low light ends. Soft in my blood like a sweet heartbeat. Stay where the silence sleeps.
Maybe the heart has a room of its own somewhere. One with no lock and no crowd at the gate. One where the bruised parts sit down without speaking. One where the tired parts learn how to wait. Maybe that room is built out of small mercies. Folded in daylight and rain on the pain. Built out of blankets.
Ven a mi ubicación.
Built out of breathing and being plain. I know there are days when the world feels too heavy. Too loud in the wires, too hard in the jaw. Days when each hour drags in like a storm cloud. Days when the soul feels raw. But even on those days there are corners that hold you. Little warm harbors under the strain. Little blue shelters inside all the rain. Little chair near the window can save you one kind of song.
soft daylight rests across the kitchen table. Pale gold sliding slowly through the blind, steam rises. Gentle from a half-filled cup, thin curls drifting quiet through the air. The clock ticks slow with patient rhythm. Every second landing soft in the room. Distant traffic hums like a fading ocean. Far beyond the quiet walls, nothing urgent moves through this moment. Nothing asks the heart to rush ahead. The floorboards hold the warmth of earlier footsteps. The chair waits calmly by the window. Outside the sky stretches wide and pale. Clouds moving like slow breathing above the rooftop. Slip softly through the narrow window gap, carrying the scent of distant rain and warm pavement. Pages of an open book turn silent in the wind. Quiet thoughts shifting shape. My mind drifts through gentle reflections. Old conversations, fade laughter, sunlight. Unfamiliar streets, nothing sharp remains. Only warm outlines of time passing softly. In this calm space, the chest feels lighter. Like silence itself carries quiet comfort.
Stay in the still light, stay in the soft air, slow in the heartbeat, stay, stay, stay there. Stay in the still light, stay in the warm glow, slow in the quiet, stay, stay, stay slow.
The afternoon moves gently through open windows, shadows stretching across the floor. A faint melody travels from a distant radio somewhere down the street, blending softly with the calm air. Dust drifts slowly in the golden beam near the wall. Bars flowing through quiet space, every object holds a small piece of memory. Worn edges, faded colors, moments frozen in silent frames. Footsteps passed outside and fade again. Lights continuing somewhere beyond the calm room, yet inside the air remains steady and warm. A place where time slows enough to notice breathing, where every pause becomes meaningful without effort. The quiet does not feel empty here. It feels full of space and warmth, like the world paused briefly to breathe between louder hours.
Stay in the still light, stay in the soft air, slow in the heartbeat, stay, stay, stay there. Stay in the still light, stay in the warm glow, slow in the quiet, stay, stay, stay slow.
Drift softly across the rooftops. Pale orange fading in the gentle blue. Lights begin glowing one by one in distant windows. Small constellations across the quiet street. The breeze cools as the sun slips away, carrying faint sounds of quiet voices and distant laughter. The sky deepens in the calm twilight colors. The day folds slowly in the night. In these small hours, nothing
Ven a mi ubicación.
The heart settles into the rhythm of breathing. Thoughts pass like slow moving clouds across the mind, never rushing. Too long, the quiet becomes a soft place where the noise of the day dissolves, leaving only the steady calm of present.
Stay in the still light, stay in the soft air, slow in the heartbeat, stay, stay, stay there. Stay in the still light, stay in the warm glow, slow in the quiet, stay, stay.
Night finally settles over the silent street, deep blue stretching wide above the roof. Stars begin appearing faint between drifting clouds, and the calm of the day lingers gently inside the chest, even as the world outside begins to quiet night rhythm. That peaceful moment remains like a soft echo beneath every breath, reminding the heart how simple stillness can feel, how powerful silence becomes when allowed to allow. When allowed to.
Aquí hay recursos.
Aquí hay recursos. Gracias. Necesito equipamiento.
Stay in the still light, stay in the soft winds flow. Slow in the heartbeat.
Coloqué una super fogata.
Yeah. Neon dripping from tall glass towers, long shadows crossing silent avenues. Warm air rolling between the rows of buildings, taxi sliding slowly past red signals. The night spreads wide across the skyline, like dark velvet, every window glowing faint and scattered gold. Footstep goes soft on the corner pavement. Distant laughter.
Necesito paredes blue.
Somewhere a subway hums through the city veins. The metal rhythm under restless stone. The breeze carries faint music through an open doorway, mixing with the murmur of late night talk. Headlights stretched thin, silver rivers on the asphalt, bending along the curves of empty roads. The whole city feels like a quiet breathing body, alive beneath the calm of midnight hours. Thoughts drift freely under these glowing towers. Nothing urgent, pulling the heart away. Just a steady rhythm of lights and movement, and the quiet comfort of wander through it all. rows of lamps, storefront signs, humming in faded colors, reflections ripple across rain-washed sidewalks like
Necesito
moving
equipamiento.
stars scattered on stone. A bus rolls slow through the quiet
Coloqué una super fogata.
behind the passing glass. The driver watching as the intersections change color, red, green, and silent sequence. Somewhere a rooftop holds two figures speaking low. The voices carried gently by the wind. A stray cat crosses the narrow alley between buildings, vanishing in the deepest shadow. Every light feels like a small story burning quietly. Every passing step leaves a moment behind. The night turns ordinary streets into something wider, something calm and strangely alive. And beneath the glow of the endless windows, the mind begins to wander slowly.
Glow in the skyline, glow in the blue night, slow through the neon, glow, glow, glow bright. Glow in the skyline, glow till the dawn light, glow through the silence, glow, glow, glow.
Gracias.
Far above the avenue, the sky opens dark and then a few faint stars. The electrical rising, towers rising, quiet mountains of glass. Traffic murmurs distant beyond the sleeping block. The sound fading like waves along the shore. Every building holds quiet lives behind it.